Hey everybody, back with another video, and today we're going to talk about the Foundry furnace I just made. I'm not quite done with it, but got to a point to where I think I can show you what I got put together so far. In a previous video, I showed you the gun that I made, kind of went over that real quick, and so now I want to show you the Foundry furnace. And subsequent videos here will show the thing working, and so stay tuned for that, but I'll show you the furnace for now. Alright, so let me back up a little bit. So there's the furnace itself. I'm just building a little heat in there so it can cure, dry out a little bit. Got it done. These were the last two blocks or bricks that I installed. I kept those out to the very last. This is about 3 days or so worth of construction. Kind of a design build sort of thing. So let me show you from the bottom up what we got going on. Looking underneath, I've got some casters, and then looking across here, you see I have a bunch of those are 4x4s. And then this is a 2x6, and I got a 2x6 on the other side over there, going across the other side. And then I had an extra piece, so I just ran at an angle and screwed all those in. So basically that's like a Z shape or an N. And then here I have a 2x4 frame all the way around it, and everywhere there was a 4x4, I shot a screw in all the way around, and then I shot several screws in the side. And this is what I used right here. These are 4x4s or maybe 3x4s, you know, something like that. They were used like this, and that gap was a band that went around to hold steel. And they were about 3 foot long or so, and I just cut them to length, and this is what was left over. So basically these are all stacked in there like this, side by side, and then I shot screws in here about every 6 inches. Left the head sticking up, some sheet metal screws, or drywall screws, and that gave my mortar bed something to grab a hold of. So that's the base, and then the mortar bed, which you see sitting right there. That mortar bed is not a typical mortar bed. It is made from Durabond 45 and Portland cement. It's approximately 75% Durabond and 25% Portland, and that gave a nice hard surface for that to work on. And then it's kind of been brush coated with leftover mortar. The mortar is a standard mortar that I used. However, I mixed it as well with a 25% Portland cement mixture. You can kind of see that I got these two done the first day. Well, excuse me, this was the first day up to this point. The second day was these 2 courses. The third day was these 3 courses, except for these last 2, and that was today. But I kept these last 2 out because this is where our tube was, and I wanted to make sure I had enough room to pack that out real well. You see, yes, I got anxious. I fired it already. I fired it real quick just to see how the swirl worked, and it worked out great. But in the bottom here, okay, so what I did after I got my mortar bed set, the very first thing I did was I took 4 fire bricks and I laid them in here. There's one laying like here, and it goes all the way back to here. It's like here, like this. And then the next fire brick lays this way, the next fire brick this way, and the next fire brick that way. And that left a little square in the center. And what I'm going to do here is drill a hole and install a pipe. And what I did here is I made a little bitty riser out of some fire brick that was left over from this piece when I cut it to clear that pipe. And what I'm going to do, or here, that now the crucible will sit on that, and let's just say this is the crucible. That'll sit right on there like that, and raises it off the bottom a little bit and allows for any spills to go in here if need be. And then I just made a couple of little ramps out of refractory cement. Alright, so what I did here was, obviously this is pretty standard construction out here, but in here I stood the fire brick up, you can see, made the octagon, and then, oop, geez, oh pizza, well that was kind of stupid. Anyway, what I did here was put a mixture of refractory cement, which is this style cement. Okay, it says it's 3,000 degrees. I used another, actually it was this one right here. I used this bucket. But anyway, I mixed that about 50-50 with vermiculite, just to lighten it up and to give it to some more insulation value. And the main reason, one of the main reasons I did that, is if you look, right here's our fire tube, comes out of there and blasts right on this one right here. That one's going to get an awful lot of heat. So I wanted to make sure that that had plenty of insulation behind it. So that's what's behind there. I also mixed in a little shot of Portland cement in with that. And if anybody knows who wants a little bitty kitty, she's a sweetheart, let me know if you're in the area. She's a little skittish. She won't let you really pick her up. See how skittish she is. Come here. Come here. Come here. Anyway, she just showed up. She's asking for some food. Alright. Back to the furnace. So, it may be finished. It may be unfinished. I don't know. So that's why I left the top unfinished. The idea here is that I may install a lid that I'm going to make. I'm going to start with that here in a minute, and I'll show you, excuse me, what I'm going to be making that with. But my thought here is that I make a lid that will fit down inside of here, and this would be the ledge it rests on. And if I need to, I can put a cap here, build this up. But this might be it. Make my cap, put a hole in it, and that might be it. And then I'll just go ahead and cap that off. But I don't know if I'm going to want it any deeper or not. So I left it at this point so I can go ahead and make it a little taller if I want to or need to. So that's it for now. Now this thing's going to have to basically cure and dry for about a week. I'm going to try not to get too antsy and fire it, but I just had to throw the fuel or the gun in there to see how well that worked, and it worked pretty slick, so I'm pretty stoked. So I'll clean it all up. You see I got some mortar and stuff on there. I'll get it all cleaned up. I'm going to seal this probably with some, I don't know, linseed oil or something like that. Maybe some Thompson's water seal just to give it some waterproofing. And yeah, well, there's a kitty. Alright, so the lid I'm going to make is going to be, my first attempt is going to be using sodium silicate, which is made from 100% lye, or geez, oh Pete, I keep forgetting chemical names for things. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH. This is also lye, sodium hydroxide. I just went and bought some more because I'm going to be making a bunch of this stuff. So the other thing we got here is silica, or silica crystals. Now, I've looked up on the internet how to make water glass, or how to make this sodium silicate, and it most recipes call for silica gels, which are the things you'd put, or you see in camera bags, and anything you buy comes with that little package in it that helps absorb moisture. But I don't see why silica crystals won't work as well. So we're going to do a silica crystal and sodium hydroxide mixture to make some water glass. I'm going to take this and I'm going to mix it with vermiculite right here. That should give us a very lightweight yet insulative lid, and also could form it into fire brick. I'll probably try a batch with some Portland in it. I'll probably try a batch with a little refractory cement. But refractory is nothing more than a mixture of different materials. So I might just try to mix my own materials and see what I come up with. But I got that. I'm going to make a ton of that because I can use it for forms and stuff. Also here shortly, I'm going to take this mason sand, which is very fine, so that's going to make a really good casting. But I'm going to make some green sand out of this, and at least I'm going to attempt to. I'm going to try a small batch first. I'm going to take the sand and mix it with 2-cycle oil, and that should give me some green sand. So I'll be doing a video on that as well. So I'll probably do a video on how to make this sodium silicate, and I'm going to call out very clearly silica crystals because there's very little information about using this. I don't know if this is a new type product. I've never seen it before, and I have cats, and I just never seen this product, so it might be a new thing. But alright, well, anyway, thanks for watching. I'm really excited to get this furnace cured so I can fire it up and use it. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention here. My tube, and notice when I installed that, I kept it right to the edge of the wood. That way, if I needed to put any brackets on right here to support the fuel, or the I keep calling it fuel oil gun, but I got a little bit of work to do on the gun. Got a little bit of drippage, but this is a 3-inch pipe, and a 2-inch pipe fits right inside of there, pretty good. And then the gun is 1.5 inches, and that fits right inside of here really well, with about the same amount of looseness. So it does have a little bit of flop. But my plan here is to run a welded bead. I'm going to weld a bead all the way around the rim of this and the tail of it. And I'm going to grind it down until I get it to just fit in there without any gaps. So there's very little... so it clears just barely, so it's nice and secure. I'm going to do the same thing to the gun. We got a new star of the show. Silly kitty. If I had just a big old pole barn, I'd just leave her there and let her be a mouser. Let her be the shop kitty. But alright, so that's that. Alright, now I'll say thanks for watching. Excited to get this thing fired up. I'm excited to make the lid, try that out. I'm going to try a couple of different recipes and mixtures and see what I can come up with as far as using the sodium silicate and the different materials, and see if I can make some lids and some bricks and some other things like that. The nice thing about this, I can use it as a kiln. I can use it as a foundry for melting all sorts of metals. I should be able to achieve temperatures enough to do, obviously, do aluminum and maybe even die-cast stuff. zinc, nickel. I don't know about the nickel thing. I'm not a metal connoisseur. I don't know a lot about metals, but brass and copper, I'll be able to do those. And I'm not sure the melting temperature of cast iron, but I'm hoping that eventually I might be able to get to that point as well. So we'll see. But first I'm going to start out with aluminum because I got a whole pile of scrap out here. And first go at this is going to be just making a ton of aluminum ingots. So, all right, well, stay tuned, and we'll see you all in the next video. Say bye, kitty. Say bye, kitty.